And we're back for day 2 of this Dwarf Vehicle deck. Again, I kind of think this deck's a little worse than Mardu, but we want to give it one more day, just a little bit larger sample size before we completely rule it out. But there's not a whole lot to say about the deck, really. Um, this card's been kind of cool. The Effergeo Miner, or whatever, but it's not been an impressive deck, but it's been a fine deck, which seems to be the majority of decks in this format that aren't, you know, just seems to be most of the decks in this format that aren't Teamer or Red Deck wins. They all just seem to be kind of like fine. Anyway, also choosing to play this deck today because it's a little bit faster deck than most other decks, and we're kind of on a time schedule today. But we're going to try to play a little bit tighter today and focus a little bit more on the actual gameplay. Not that I think this deck's complicated enough to really warrant that, so probably picking a poor day to put the tryhard pants on. Alright, this hand's fine. In our 10 match sample size or whatever of this deck already, we've never had a Toolcraft Exemplar into a Heart of Kirin yet, so it's kind of cool. Excuse me. Thought I had a mute button. It's just so many decks have had removal spells for these that they've not did a... Not felt like they've did a whole lot in play. Speaking of which... So, Fraven Inspector best draw? I guess that draw's okay. They clearly have a removal spell. Sure. We've had a problem getting our 4th mana and 5th mana of this deck a lot as well. Hopefully that won't continue to be the issue. Well, we have found a land. Guess it's better to play this one. Worst case scenario, we can still crew up the chain. Or we wouldn't be attacking with this cool Toolcraft either way. And this is effectively the best draw we've ever had with this deck. Immediately tap red, so that has to be a Glorybringer. Glorybringer's not great for him here, though. I like how it says I only have 4 mana in my pool. Like I'm lagging or something, but we can tell that I'm not lagging because... Alright, maybe we are lagging. Okay, either Moto's messed up or my connection's messed up. I'm not sure which. Hmm. Hey, thank you, Mick Lamb. Thank you for the subscription, man. Really appreciate it. Um, kind of like picked a bad time to come in chat though. I don't think I've saw you before, but like Moto doesn't seem to be responding to me. I guess I'm gonna close it and reopen it or something. My connection seems okay. Alright, I guess we'll close it and reopen it. Maybe that'll do something. Explain quality? Like my connection's fine. I've dropped no frames or anything. Put the game back where it is. Appreciate the sub though. Where are you from? Yeah, don't let us down, Moto. Yeah, the program just seems to be lagging for me right now. Hmm. Yeah, well, it came back. And it seems to be working now. It's still just not working. Okay. I noticed that there wasn't any 2 mana removal spells today. When I was, like there's no replacement for Immolating Glare, and there doesn't seem to be a replacement for the Effort Meltdown or the Blessed Alliance. Any of the. Okay. It seems to be working again. Like, I didn't think it was me. I knew it was Moto. Oh, God, that was frustrating. I have no idea why I just, like, sat there and lagged out for, like, 2 minutes and wouldn't do anything. Now, I'm a big fan of the approach deck, but I'm a little weary about it not having great 2 mana removal spells going forward. I need to read more of the spoiler, though. I've only read about 1/3 of it so far. Alright, well, I guess we will save to Gideon. It seems to be better than... Actually, there's no reason to save to Gideon. He's just dead on board, right? Because he's not dead on board. He could have a magma spray. Yeah, seems better to let the Gideon die, though. Let's start with this thing. Feels like he's F6'd. Yeah, felt like he was F6'd. I appreciate the support. I appreciate it a lot. Alright, so versus Teamer, we have... There's different builds of Teamer, and we didn't see enough of his deck to decide which build he is. But in general, I think the Avacons are very good versus all the Glorybringer decks. I believe most of our creatures are fine versus them. I think, in general, I think Stasis Snare's better than our, like a Braid or Harness Lightning or whatever. I don't think the Chandras or the Gideons are particularly good. I think it's too easy for them to have Whirler Virtuoso and just go wide against our Planeswalkers. So I'm probably thinking about cutting off 4 walkers for the Skyship Sovereign as well. I'll try this. Yeah, there'll be another approach video going up today on YouTube. Probably play it again tomorrow. I think where there's only 10 days between now and rotation, then I'm just going to play approach basically every other day. Yeah, so this is a 23 land deck, so there's 22 lands still in the deck. We don't technically have to have a land until turn 3. So like a 80% chance to hit a land, give or take. This hand's strong enough that we can keep that. Kind of looks like a bad keep, but I think we're like 80% probably to hit it by turn 3. And we have a really good opener. I think we're in an unfavored match to begin with as well, so like when I'm in an unfavored match and I have to get a little bit lucky, I generally will keep a little lighter hand. Hmm. Just in general, I typically kill any mana or any mana producer as soon as I see it. Could be a little bit thin when we don't have an extra land, but keeping him down Bristling Hydra turn seems relevant. Willing to trade here. Again, I think his game's better than my game. Probably will scribe most things that aren't lands to the bottom. Gonna try to not get blown out by a Radiant Flames this game. So very likely we'll only be playing one of these two next turn. Well, if we're only playing one of them, let's start with a... some argument that I could have held the Miner to try to play around a Glorybringer to Stasis Snare later, but I don't think it's worth doing all that. Hey, they're on that build of the deck. I'm a pretty big fan of that build of the deck. But if that was a Bristling Hydra, we wouldn't be able to do this. Now we have some insurance to keep the Miner alive, which is kind of nice. Little Long Tusk Kabaru. And another Wanderer. That's a 6/6 this time, though. Well, Angel of Avison, you are our only thing. You are everything. Wow, the third 6/6. That's pretty powerful. No removal spell one time? He has a removal spell, by the way. We don't really have an out to the third 6/6 trampler. As that prevents the most damage? Hmm. Kind of looking for something that I can use as a removal spell. Go ahead and sacrifice this now. Because it could have been a land. Seems like this is a glory bringer. You tap double red. Oh, it's a Chandra. That's just as bad as a glory bringer for me. I don't see why people keep bringing in Chandras versus this deck. That doesn't feel to me like that can be right. On the outside looking in, it just feels to me like if my deck's working that we'll be able to beat a Chandra pretty easily. Willing to trade both of my guys for a 6/6 trampler. Unfortunately, he had another spell. Well, hmm. Guess this one feels like it has a better chance of being able to block while being a better attacker. So 9 life here, though, is pretty poor for us. And that's game. Have no out to that. Yeah, have no out to that. Alright then. Well, we saw some big 6/6 vigilances. None of our planeswalkers seem any good versus them. We saw him have a planeswalker, which makes our skyship a little bit better. None of our X1s are particularly good. I think I'm gonna get rid of some of these. Just bring in more of these things again on the draw or on the play to try to be a little bit faster. Kind of feel like I need this land too. Don't know what I'd sideboard out for it though. No, I'm just not gonna play it. Yeah, I changed my mind again. So this hand is similar to last hand, except we have one less draw step. So like, we really need to draw it exactly next turn in this spot. Which is still a reasonable chance. It's like 40%-ish. Well, hand is everything we want. I don't think that's good enough to keep, though. I'd have kept it on the draw. Same as I kept it last game on the draw, but on the play just seems like it's too much. So a random 3/3 gives us something to do on turn 3. That maybe can attack into like a servant or something. Gives us two shots at fixing our land for the Gideon as well. Alright, so actually gonna keep the removal spell there. It probably kills this. Really wish we knew that this was his only red mana. We would have put the braid on top. Well, we don't want the plains. Do we want the braid now? Keeping the braid now is probably okay still. I might be overvaluing Whirler Virtuoso, but like, I'm pretty afraid of Whirler Virtuoso. Oh, I can now no longer attack. This is one of the reasons that I don't think Gideon's particularly great in this match. Kind of odd that he would use the Long Tusk Cub then. Can't imagine that ever being actually correct. We're completely tapped out, and there's no reason for him not to look for more information. Yeah. Like I said, one of the reasons that I don't think Gideon's actually good in this match. That's why I sideboarded it out for game 2. I probably shouldn't have brought it back in. He still has 5 cards in his hand. So he's got more cards, more lands, and a better board. It's not a good sign for us. Could have played around the gate, but I think it's better to try to maybe snag a Glorybringer or something. It's not over, though. We're just certainly in a very bad spot now. They have 4 cards in their hand, and they have mana to cast anything but Scarab Gods, so that means they're all 4 removals of some kind? Well, that's our best card again. I'd probably play Davison and just let him kill it. Like, we're not going to win the game not playing it, and I want to be able to start attacking with Needle Spires. That's fine. Again, expected him to have something. This seems like the best turn for the Needle Spires. He could have a removal, but he can't block with the Lumbering Falls this turn, so. And don't really care if the Needle Spires itself dies. Have no way to make him discard cards. Chandra's defeats an odd card to sideboard in. And can't really beat that card without drawing a removal spell. Well, that is in fact a removal spell. Hopefully it's good enough. Can't attack him because of the Lumbering Falls. Hey, this is what we wanted. Can save it from a braid if we want, and we probably do. It's kind of only bad versus Glorybringers and Big Chandras. Just letting him kill things for 3 doesn't seem very good either, so. Yeah. That's fine. We at least get to keep the Harvester, which isn't nothing. Since Glorybringer's in his deck, the Harvester might technically be a little better. We'll need to find our 3rd angel, I'd say, though. Awkward pause during my upkeep. The awkwardest of pauses. I apologize for this delay. He still has 3 cards in his hand. He's already drawn triple Harness Lightning, Radiant Flames, and a Braid and a Chandra. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to beat that. Opponent DC'd. So the opponent drew 6 spot removal already? How many creatures did we draw? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? That's pretty unfortunate. So has anybody read all the new spoilers? And if so, what are the cards that have caught your eye the most? Also, if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to follow me both here and on YouTube and Twitter if you feel like it. On the Twitter, you see every time I go live and all the deck lists I play. On the YouTube, the deck list, a link to the Twitter, and a link to the Twitch is in every description. I guess I'll pop the deck list back up while we wait. He's been going 3 minutes on Moto. Wait, that's not how you pop the deck list back up at all. On Moto, you get 10 minutes to reconnect, so. Tomorrow, we're going to either stream Blue White Approach again, our baby, or we're going to play 4-color Energy. I've not decided yet. Saturday streams are always late, don't forget, because I typically play the Commander challenges that day. It's one of the bad things about streaming Magic Online, especially when nobody's in chat. The sweet, sweet downtime. Excuse me. says I'm offline to me. Oh, there it goes. Hey, Steve. Yeah, that mythic Naya dinosaur seems like it's got a pretty powerful video or ability. I'm gonna be pretty curious if it turns out to be something. Alright, so our opponent's back. And we drew our best card. Our best card in our whole deck. Let's start holding lands from now. We probably could have started holding lands a lot earlier than this. So whatever is in opponent's hand can't deal with Effort Spear Harvester, so I guess that's something. Almost want to block that with just a Needle Spires. I may do that going into the next turn. He's already showed us that he's playing Radiant Flames, and the Toolcraft Exemplar can attack anyway, so I'm not going to bother to play it. I'd rather keep something back to be able to crew the Harvester with. Sure. Uh-oh, boys. We got us a problem here. We have 3 more Stasis Snares and 1 more Archangel to try to block it, and he's going through all 4 of his Harness Lightnings now. So, if we do happen to get there, it'll be a pretty big get. I'm going to go ahead and offer him this trade. My card doesn't really get better. If he has a removal spell or something for it, he just has a removal spell or something for it. And he had a Magma Spray. Our opponent drew every red card in his deck and we just got smashed. That's what it appears anyway. Sure. That's a good card. And he has a negate. Wow. Oh, God. Tilt. I don't think I have an out at all now. Everspear Harvester, maybe if he exerts the Glorybringer. Might be enough to get us another turn or 2. He exerted again. Not a fan. I think people in general exert too much, but that's fine. Alright, well, we got smashed. Oh, we jumped straight into the next game at least. And we have to mulligan. Opponent mulliganed as well. This hand's bad as well. I think we'll keep it on the draw. If I was on the play, I'd probably ship again. For the simple fact that we actually can't cast a spell. Alright, well, we'll keep on land. Land lets us cast 3 of our spells, even though 2 of them don't do anything by themselves. Hey, this thing can attack. Yeah, so they're playing ramp. The draw we have, that's probably not good for us. Be a lot better for us if we were on the play. But that's fine. As long as he doesn't have land hour of promise, like we have some chance. If he has a land hour of promise, we're pretty hurt though. Well, that's a good one. That card's very good here. And us not hitting our land's very bad here. I'm actually willing to trade that for both of their things, I believe. They have Fumigates in their deck. So I don't put a whole lot of value into trying to keep the little 4-1 around. Fine, fine, fine. Could have gained life. I'm not worried about gaining the life. This was a mistake not to, probably, but like I'm not really worried about it. This game's not going to come down to sneaking across the goal line with 2 or 3 life. But it was a mistake. wanting that F6 value too strong, man. Our kingdom for an untapped land. He got one. Can we have one? Hey, we got one. I'm pretty excited about that. I'll go ahead and do that now so I can press the F6 in a second. Attack for a bundle. Better things to do with our mana this turn. So he's blocking, that means he's probably fumigating next turn. Just fine. If he's fumigating, he's not casting a ramp spell. And not casting a ramp spell is good for me. Him hitting the land there is not good for me. Descend? Sure. It's worse than a fumigate in that spot. Don't know why it's giving me priority among spells right now. It's a smidge annoying. So we can beat a lot of different things here. No, he didn't hard slam a land. Sure. Double Gift of Paradise has really helped out this game. So we can attack for 11 next turn. A creature would let us attack for more. That's a creature. That should be enough. Yeah, I'm not holding this priority, so I don't know why Moto's decided that I get to hold it today. It's generally a good program. Like, this is a little annoying bug, but like, it doesn't affect the games or anything. A lot of people be like typing explain quality and stuff into the chat, but nah, it's not worth that. Alright, so I definitely want more stasis snares post board. Probably want the Gideons and the Chandras. Planeswalkers in general seem decent here. This can kill cast outs and it can kill his mana ramp, but it's probably not good enough. These might be good enough. They have walking ballista, so it makes me not like these X1s a lot. Especially the 3 casting cost ones. Harness Lightning and Abrades don't seem that good either. Yes, they have cats, but like... Feel like the other things we have is enough to beat cats. This is like we have these and these that can both still kill cats. Skyship Sovereign? That seems kind of bad here too, doesn't it? That seems kind of bad here too. This at least kills a ramp spell. And that card's bad. What do you do when all your cards are bad? We choose you, Grasshopper. Hand isn't good, but it's got 2 Planeswalkers and an Avacyn. And 1 3-drop that probably just trades with a Fraven Inspector, which is one of the reasons all of my X1s are bad, other than Walking Ballista. Another Planeswalker. If 1 Gideon's not enough, 2 will surely get us everything, right? You know, I'm fine with that. I'm still going to cast a Motorist into it. If nothing else, it lets me look for the lands, which is what I want. And it stops him from being able to play this slower and get 2 counters. So we want a 4th land, and we certainly don't want that. And that's fine, film killing that. I said 4th land, but I meant 5th land for Avacyn. Gideon's not great in this match, especially on the draw though, because of Hour of Promise. So worst case scenario for us right now is cast out into Hour of Promise. No cast out at least. No Hour of Promise either. It's kind of interesting that our opponent kept what appears to be no ramp spells, no interactive spells. Does it just have every Eldrazi that was ever an Eldrazi? Just go ahead and play this. If he has Fumigate, he has Fumigate. Stops him from playing an Hour of Promise if he top decks it or something, and we have plenty of pressure on the board. Let's start by pumping this thing up. We will not pay for you. I'm not too worried about trying to attack him with the Avacyn because he could have World Breaker way too easily. He about has to with what he showed us. So I just want to get as much damage as I can right now and have the Avacyn as a flash blocker to try to save the Gideon ultimate. Or try to save the Chandra ultimate. I misspoke. Okay, I guess he just didn't have a 7th land. That was a very, very odd keep by our opponent. But we were in a really favorable spot there anyway. Like, you have to interact versus the red decks early. It's one of the... and the white decks. Especially the red-white decks. Anyway, if you like what you're seeing, make sure you follow. Following on the Twitch helps a lot. Following on the YouTube helps immensely. Even if you don't watch the videos, following on that YouTube makes me smile. Also, make sure to do any liking and commenting as well. If you look below the stream, you'll find links to both my YouTube and my Twitter. And on my Twitter, you see every time I go live and all the deck lists I play. On the YouTube, you'll see all of the streams and some additional non-streamed content. And on every YouTube video, you'll find a link to both the Twitch, the Twitter, and the... I'm going to mulligan this. And the deck list in the videos. Also, if you're in chat, you can always type !deck list to see the deck list. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. It turns on the Stasis Snare and gets us one step closer to Gideon, even though it makes the Toolcraft Exemplar much worse. Gideon's really the payoff. That was helpful. Hopefully they don't have a magma spray, and it appears that they've hit F6, so... Oh, they're playing New Perspectives, I think. That was the very card we needed here. It's the one that puts on the most amount of pressure. Gives us a kill next turn in Fury. I know they play some Haze of Pollens and things like that, so like doesn't necessarily get a kill, but if they're playing a Haze of Pollen or something like that, they're not casting one of their ramp spells, which is great for us. We just have a massive attack next turn. So we're going to have like a 16-point attack next turn. Alright, so assuming they are that deck, what's good and what's not good? Sometimes they have tireless tracklers or cheflet monitors. But for the most part, I believe it's just Gideons that we would definitely want. Maybe even to Chandra, I guess. Don't think I want these removal at all. If I want any removal, I think I'd prefer it to be Stasis Snare. I'm not that super familiar with the New Perspectives deck. The Scavenging Grounds should have come in, probably. On hindsight. Feels like a card I want. Alright, well, this hand's not good, but I believe it's keepable. I assume they have Radiant Flames and stuff in their decks. Yep, that's a good start for them. Um, guess we can keep both of these. Just gonna kind of hope he doesn't have a removal spell or mass removal spell. Um, Probably don't have enough time to get there either way. He's still at 20. Definitely don't want that. You can still stay. We technically have a 13 pawn attack next turn, and by 13 pawn attack next turn, I mean that's still not lethal, and they probably win. But there's some chance that they don't. Like, this is a combo that can whiff, as far as I know. You don't 100% lose every time they get it. Like, I'm pretty unfavored, but, like, it's not 100%, right? So we just have to stay here and watch what they do. I don't think we're beat yet still. He's up to 16 cards with 30 cards left in his library. Like, there's still some chance he could lose, right? It's getting lower and lower to him having any chance to lose, but in fact, if he shows us an approach, we can scoop. I guess technically we still can't scoop, can we? It's times like these where I wish your opponent could just click a show hand button. Okay, I'm willing to scoop on that one. That one was it. He now has more cards in his hand than he does in his library and all that. He can draw his deck effectively at that point. I guess we definitely do want this card. It does something. These cards still aren't very good, so just have to be faster this time. It's really the key. We can't really interact with them, so our only chance to beat them is by racing them. We'll play first. We have a reasonable hand. Find some gas with this thing. Certainly want no lands. Oh, well. Do we want that land? Definitely don't want the Heart of Kirin, but do we want that land? You know, I'm willing to try it. Hey, Flame Guts, how you doing today, man? You excited for Ixalan? I believe you like to get the brewskis going. Brewski sounds like alcohol when I'm referring to brewing magic decks. One time, no negate. No negate. One time. Sweet. Thought you'd like them. They do have sometimes Drake Havens in their sideboard and like Sheffoot monitors and tireless trackers and stuff, so I guess I'll go ahead and gain the 3 life. But that puts them on a pretty decent clock. We literally went 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's going to be hard for new perspectives to beat 1, 2, 3, 4. What cards have excited you the most from the new spoiler? Alright, well, that's a Sweltering Sun, so let's see if you're enough. Is it enough? Hey, we got there. Captivating Crew. That is a pretty nice card. That's for sure. It's one of the better cards in the set, I think. I don't think I've read that one yet. I've only read about a third of the spoilers. I've read mostly the blue and black cards so far. Ooh, instant speed 2 damage to all non-pirates. So you're all about the pirates, are you? Arrgh, me matey. Excess of Morality is super interesting. I don't know how to apply that card, but like that card definitely has some place somewhere over some rainbow. Here we go, fam. Round 4? Question mark. I think it's round 4. Anyway, we'll play first. And this hand's gas. This hand's about the best, about the gassiest hand the gas can gas hand. You killed someone with it? How did you pull that one off? I'd like to point out this hand was a lot better when when I thought that Everspear Harvester was a different card. Well, that's disappointing. It's still a good hand, though. For some reason, I thought it was Heart of Kirin. Slap this down, try to help us find a land. We found a land. Bottom top. Get across the table and prepared to get counterspelled. Had a getting emblem out. Oh my! Oh, wow! I want nothing more than to do that now. I want nothing more than to do that. Just gonna put two more creatures on the board. I don't want to let him use the. I don't want to let him just censor that for free. So yeah, there's a censor. Glad we played around it. Like, playing around the censor doesn't really help a whole lot though, because they can just easily under following turn, have a supreme will. But it's something. Hey, thanks, Flame Guts. Really appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot. So Little Gideon prevented 9 damage, because that's the type of things Little Gideons do. Little Gideon is great in this deck, by the way, especially versus the slower decks. Anti-loose conduct deck. Sounds. Well, unfortunately, I believe I'm still going to play a creature here. I'm going to play this one because Motorist is better on the next turn. Guess this was technically a play mistake, but doesn't really affect much. We got two subs today. That's pretty sweet. What all do you have? Do you have the deck list online where we can read it? Well, if he has a Fumigate, we won't win this game. If he doesn't have a Fumigate, we're not in bad shape, of course. Like, we still have Lethal on the board. If he has a Fumigate, bad times. Glorious End. I am a Glorious End fan. I have been begging for Glorious End to be a card ever since I first read it. So I guess they didn't have the 5th land, probably. Well, we got lucky. I feel like this match is going to be very hard. Um, Clearly going to want all the Planeswalkers. The removal spells aren't great, but like, they're not terrible. They have Cats and Limvala, so Stasis Snare is slightly better than the Braid and the Harness. The Nahiri probably has some value. The Archangels probably have some value against Fumigate. Nahiri can get cast out. That's about it. Well, I mean, we lost twice yesterday in the exact same spot versus the black-white servos deck. Like, we had the Fumigate in hand. They put a million things on the board, had no cards in their hand, and we just never had the 5th land twice. I mean, it happens, but it's a little unfortunate for him. Alright, so I have to sideboard some things out here. What is worse? Alright. We definitely want all the Planeswalkers, because Planeswalkers are very good versus his deck in general. We definitely want the Avacons to try to have some kind of Fumigate answer. The Pias can probably go, even though the Pias attack for like a million and provide 2 different threats. Actually, the Pala can probably go. I like Pia more than the Pala, I think. I believe I want most of the vehicles, because again, vehicles are good post-Fumigate as well. maybe having 8 vehicles is too many. Maybe we only need like 6 or 7. Yeah, we'll try 7. Got one stasis snare and one vehicle, I guess. This hand's not good, but I believe it's keepable. Our opponent kept his hand so very fast. The Heart of Kieran helps the hand a little bit. I love Glorious End. It's just such a flavorful card. Well, certainly didn't want to draw another land. No censor, please? No censor. Alright. Step 1. We got past step 1. Got a lot more steps to go. So that's Little Chad. Little Chad's good. We don't want to Fraben, but we will take the Gideon. And play this thing too, just so I can go to their attack step and press the always yield and press F6. How you doing, by the way, Dong? How you doing, Dong? Not sentences I thought I would ever say before I become a streamer. Oh, nice. Very nice. I hadn't actually thought about that. Alright, so which one of these is a better threat to try to play? There's a very good chance that he just counterspells whichever one we play. Guess we could attack first and try to bait out a Blessed Alliance. Yeah, I think I like attacking first. If he uses a Blessed Alliance, we're going to cast Deshandra, obviously, and try to finish off the getting to the trials. If not, I'll probably play the Gideon. Rip. But I have to play one. I have no idea why they did. It's so awkward. Did you see the really good 4-drop Merfolk for limited? It's like 4 mana, make your babies cry. What was it? It was 4 mana. 4 mana. That's like B-Day 1. That's kind of cool. 4 mana, like tap all your dudes. So our life total is not really relevant here, and there's enough 1 white drops in our deck, like there's 7 1 white drops that I want to do it like this. Alright, well, we missed anyway. The fact that he's still at 16 life is probably bad. Probably bad for us. So very, very bad. Yep. That's a kitty cat. Meow meow. Well, that's actually kind of good. Alright, well, let's start with exiling the top card. We hit another land. They're down to 2 cards now, though. Like we did, we are pulling ahead a little bit here. They have a cast out for this stasis snare. I'm just gonna cry. Now we have multiple blockers, and we can do a lot of different things. I don't think people want to hear me do a set review. I'm a pretty negative person. I don't know how many good things I would have to say. Oh, that card's great. That card's great. Oh, they're using it on the Heart of Kirin, though. Interesting. So what do we got here? We have a miner. Um, hmm. Is it bad that I kind of want to attack with the Heart of Kirin just to protect from a Blessed Alliance? I don't know. Let's start by ticking up. I guess I want to play that too, though, don't I? If I play that, I can't kill the Gideon, and killing the Gideon seems important, so. Could just go for his dome, too. Technically, it's a 2-turn clock. Alright. Decisions have been made. We're attacking with the Heart of Kirin as well. Was uptick for mana play Pia reasonable there? Probably. Probably better than what I did. Now, he could have another Fumigate. I'm not really concerned if he does. I'm going to go ahead and play this anyway. If he has a Fumigate, he can't cast Approach, and if he has Approach, Life of Jesus doesn't love us if he has an Approach. It was probably better than what I did. Alright, so we're definitely going to at least sack this. So they're going to go up to 14. Wonder if I should have just tried to ultimate this Chandra at some point in this game. That was about the best draw I could get, by the way. So he goes down to 8, and he'd be going back to 15. We'd only have an attack for 13. We'd have an attack for 15, right? Let's see, 5 from Gideon, 4 from Heart of Kirin would be 9. 10, 11 with the ally, 12, 13 with the Chandra, 14, 15 with the runes. Oh, that was a good draw. Alright, let's start with... I don't know which one to start with. Let's start with you. Remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker we control. Is that right? Right, remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker. Attack for millions. Millions of peaches. Alright, attack for millions. Alright, so that's a cast out. Ooh. That one was a good play. Interesting. That was a pretty good play, though. I mean, he's dead. Because he didn't double block with the cat, but... I guess he could have Blessed Alliance. I should play around Blessed Alliance, right? You just like gain 4 life of a Blessed Alliance here. Alright. Oh, wow, that's 12 bits. I didn't even realize that was bits, Dong. Thank you for the bits, man. I didn't understand. I am very stupid. I do appreciate it. So we're 3-1 on today. Our one loss so far has been to Teamer, which is probably just the best deck in the format. If you like what you're seeing, make sure to follow us here on Twitch. And if you're really liking what you're seeing, you can go down below and click my link to my Twitter. On the Twitter, you'll see every time I go live all my deck lists and my random opinions on things. And if you really, really like me, you can go to my YouTube and follow my YouTube. That makes me smile the most. The more likes I get on the YouTube, the more recommended and stuff I get. But on the YouTube, you'll find all of our streams. Some non-streamed content. And more importantly, if you're watching from the YouTube, in every description, there's a link to my Twitch, my Twitter, and a deck list. So let's see if we get 4 treasure chests today, or if we just get a pity chest. Move on to the... Woo! No lands. That was a pretty easy decision. We have a mulligan. We have toolcraft into this, even if we don't hit the land. We're a pretty reasonable chance to hit the land over a couple of draw steps, so I believe this is a pretty easy keep. Feels like this is a pretty easy keep to me. Especially if they're mulliganing, I believe it's a keep. Somewhere in the area of like 65% to hit a land, 80% to hit it on turn 2, but we're certainly certainly putting that card on the bottom. Our opponent also kept 6. Need to understand when I'm getting bits, so I can stop seeming ungrateful. Yeah, if somehow we just untapped and drew an Inspiring Vantage, by the way, we could throw our hands in the air and wave them like we just don't care. Because that would obviously be great. Close enough. So it's blue-black of some kind. With an Effer hub? Interesting. And we missed our land, which makes me a little sad, but... I'm going to play this one. A, I don't care if he counterspells it. B, it doesn't die to Flaying Tendrils if he's on that deck. Yeah. Sure. So we snuck in a cheeky 3 points of damage there. I like to say cheeky, by the way. Untap land to play around Censor would be very nice here. That's not an untapped land to play around Censor, but... So whatever. Revolutionary Rebuff. Oh, we need to hit our lands. That was a play mistake by me. I should have went ahead and sacked a clue pre-combat. I might have hit something like a Toolcraft Exemplar. Yeah, that was a play mistake by me. Punish me, deck. Punish me. Didn't get punished. The deck deserved to punish me, though, because that was pretty bad of me. Alright, well, we're certainly going into the bad shape. Going into the bad shape times now. He's just going to be able to have counter spells and stuff probably the rest of the game. I believe I'd rather have Chandra in play than this, so I'm going to lead with this one. Just expect it to get counterspelled. Didn't expect that to be the counterspell, but... Had to substitute 2 cards since they weren't on tapped out yet? That's fair. Alright. I feel like Chandra can be played at some other point. Let's see if he allows this. Like this can crew the Heart of Kirin this turn. I'm assuming he's just going to Gear Hulk into Grasp, but I still like having the Effort Spear Harvester in play in general. Pop it up for everybody. Yeah, assume that's what he's going to have. It says page not found, 404 error. Maybe one of these will work. Let's click this one then, see what it says. Nope, it's definitely not loading for me. Alright, let's start with this. If he's got a second, he's just got a second. There's not a lot we can do about it. Okay then. Let me press refresh then. He's got a Void Shatter too. Still says not found for me. Yeah. Well, he's down to 1 card in hand, so we can win this race pretty hard if he doesn't draw anything before we draw something. It's going to depend a lot on what the last card in his hand is. The fact that he didn't attack, really encouraging in my opinion. It's kind of interesting. Just going to play one of these. Have more attackers on the following turn. Pretty glad we did that now. Oh, it works now? Hold on, let me refresh it after I press F6 on our opponent's turn. Refresh. Oh, it does work now. Alright. I'm going to have to read some of these cards. Some of these cards are kind of new to me. Alright, let's start with this. A second with this. I guess we'll keep the Pia. Probably just going to attack him with everything next turn. Alright, so First Blood. Pay 2 life, draw a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you have 5 or less life. You may transform it. That card's kind of sweet. I wonder what it transforms into. I don't actually know what it transforms into, and this link's not telling me. Why can't you click a button that just says transform? Ooh, Exquisite Archangel. Somebody played that recently versus me in a local Magic game. Yeah, so don't know what our opponent has, but it's one card. Is it the one card to rule them all? Or is he just taking 2 more damage? He's down to 5. He needs, like, a lot of things. Diamond. Oh! That card's hot. Huh. I like the idea of, let's read Insurrection as well. Untap all creatures and gain control. That card is 8 mana? Wow, that card's game breaking. Sure. So opponent's gonna block the biggest 2, kill 1, still take 5 and be dead? Think opponent's still dead. Hopefully we didn't butcher this map. Okay, yeah, he was dead if he made that play, so now he's trying to get 2 removals, sure. Read the description. Alright, let's go back over here and read the description. Maybe they want it to be on the winning side for once. I approve. The opponent's probably pretty dead here, right? Man, what if the opponent drew into, like, an expertise? How sick would that be? Or sorry, not an expertise, but like a K return. Wow. K return would certainly get me. We'd have outs to it. We'd be able to draw a prayer. Alright, well, if he's not going to do anything, I'm just going to let this kill him. Alright, a fatal push. You're still dead. He didn't glimmer into double removal, did he? He did glimmer into double removal. Well, that's a treat. Seems pretty unlucky for me. I like this deck. So he's showing us the 1 card in his hand? Okay, well, never mind. He's showing us that he drew another Glimmer. So he top decked Gearhulk into Glimmer, into removal, into Glimmer. Pretty good hits. Gotta be honest, that's not bad hits. Kinda has to pressure to Chandra, though. This little miner's been very good. This card's been probably the most impressive card that we've tried in this deck. I played Approach yesterday. Like the season's about at the end, so like I've just been rotating the decks. I've been playing like one deck one day, Approach the next day, then one deck the next day. He said 11 turns, draw 5 land, but we put 3 land on the bottom with our Modrus. I don't see why opponent would complain about something like that though. Like you get a little lucky and a little unlucky in Magic, it happens. Um, so braids have to be better than harness lightnings. Stasis snares are probably okay. He's probably on. He's probably on Scarab Gods if he's blue-black. Don't know if I want the Archangels. He's already showed us Grasp and Hours of Glory. The approach isn't rotating out, but we're losing all of our 2-mana interactive spells. Immolating Glare and Blessed Alliance are both rotating, and it kind of scares me, but I just meant, like, I wanted to play some cards that were rotating out. It's kind of what I meant. Like we won't have a chance to play Gideon for much longer, so I just wanted to play some games of Gideon and stuff. Just some cards that we won't get a chance to play again. Well, I guess there's always Modern, but you know what I mean. In general, the Pias probably ain't that good here. We probably don't want this many removal spells. That's probably just too many. I believe I want all the creatures, though. I believe I want all... I believe I want all the rest of this stuff. One of these probably gets to go. Have better nut draws with the other one. Yeah, I mean, Approach is still going to be a deck. It's just... I didn't mean it as much as Approach was leaving. I meant it more as I wanted to play some decks that were leaving. Get some reps in with some cards. Like, I think Monday we played Tireless Tracker. We'll probably play Tireless Tracker again either tomorrow or Sunday. Just some of my favorite cards that I haven't got to play a lot of. This hand's pretty decent. He led with Swamp, so he probably has the Fatal Push. And Legacy Merfolk used to be one of my favorite decks. I think Miner in general is better than a Motorist. Playing Magic for fun. I certainly don't want the land. Am I willing to keep a Toolcraft Exemplar? Probably. Yep, I noticed that. Man, Approach is a good card. Alright, I guess he didn't have a removal spell? Or he now would rather use his counters mana on whatever we're playing this turn? Kinda makes me just want to play both of these then. Like, how bad is that? I think I'm fine with that. If he taps out for like a Flame Tendrils or whatever, we get to resolve to Gideon, which is something. And playing 2 spells versus a guy who's casting counter spells seems better than playing 1 spell. Might as well play around Censor. We wouldn't be using the we're not casting the Gideon this turn either way, so playing around Censor seems better than not playing around Censor. Oh, that's a good one. That might be a reason for us to keep a few more removal spells in than what we kept in. As another counter spell, we're probably pretty hurt here. Yeah, probably in bad shape now. If he wants to trade, I would rather offer it to him. If nothing else, I win the race in this spot. Like I'm taking 2 damage a turn and dealing 3. Yeah, well, I don't know what's in our opponent's hand, but we get to deal some amount of damage either way, even if he has a gear hook. Oh yeah, so he didn't block last turn, and he attacked this turn to not block. What in the world's in our opponent's hand? I don't understand how our opponent's making, our opponent's, like, complaining about our draws, but, like, his plays seem ridiculous to me. He let us deal an extra 4 points of damage with this. Like, he could easily still just be 10 right now with us having one less Fred on the board. Anyway, so we went 4-1. Not too bad of a day. I think our opponent made some questionable plays that can get around, but whatever. Back for a small recap of what we did. We lost a teamer. We beat a Grixis deck, but we never really saw what his red was. We beat some other things. We beat a green-white ramp deck. What else did we beat? How do these games run together on me? Like, how can I not remember a game from, like, 30 minutes ago? What was this game? Oh, this was the New Perspectives player. So we beat New Perspectives as well. And again, no idea what this guy was playing. Oh, this was the ramp player. So we beat New Perspectives, we beat Ramp, we beat a Grixis deck, though we don't know what his red was for. And we beat Blue-White Approach. Wow, I literally forgot Blue-White Approach. That's insane. All I do is play Blue-White Approach, yet I forget Blue-White Approach. Probably going to sell them to try to save a little bit save a few ticks so we can buy more Ixalan cards to brew with. Yeah, that deck looks pretty sweet, Flame Guts. For those watching on YouTube, I'll pull it up and show Flame's deck if I can find it. There we go. This is the deck Flame showed us. Oops. For those that are watching on YouTube, so you can see what we're talking about. I should have pulled that up earlier. I opened one the other day and we hit an exploration, but like we're definitely going to have to build up some cash so we can just buy a lot of Ixalan stuff. Yeah, that Fraben Inspector is very, very good. This card blew my mind when I read it. I hadn't read this card yet. This card's going to be fun. Oh, wait. Is that the one that you said wasn't in this? Oh, isn't in standard. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Oh, God, I'm an idiot. Well, I was excited to play the card that's not in standard. Apparently, it's a placeholder for a card that's not on tapped out yet. Yeah, yeah. What card's that supposed to be, Flame Guts? No, so sorry, it's just a placeholder. Anyway, to spell it out, remember, if you like what you're seeing, please follow. Also, please follow to YouTube. What? Oh, there's some kind of ad up there. Remember, if you're watching from YouTube, in every video, there's a link to both the Twitch, my Twitter, and a deck list. Capticating Crew. Okay, I know what that one is now. Also want to thank Ilmake Lamb, Flame Guts, and Haxinator, all three for subscribing today. Haxinator was offline. And thank you, Dong Diggity, for the bits. It's a pretty good day. We didn't have a whole lot of people in the chat room, but we had the people that matter. That's right. If you wasn't here, you lose. Anyway, so we're going to find somebody to host. I'm going to get out of here. I actually play local Friday Night Magic, so thank you very much, Dong. I do appreciate that. It looks like Eric Hawkins is giving a set review right now, so I guess we'll give Eric Hawkins the host. We want to hear his set review. Also, don't forget Mana Traders is still streaming right now, and oh wait, Brandon DeCandio's doing a set review too. All right, we'll host Brandon DeCandio then for his set review. Actually, we're just gonna host Eric Hawkins anyway. But keep in mind, if you want to see a set review, Brandon DeCandio and Eric Hawkins are both doing one at the moment, and then Mana Traders looks like he's rocking out more cube drafts. Anyway, take care, everybody.